Hey, good morning. How's it going, guys? It is Thursday. I believe it's Thursday, and I am sitting in my car as I have in the past. This is a series where I sit in my car and I chat about things that are timely and have to do with my business or reselling or other random thoughts that might be popping into my head at the time. So I actually stopped by Starbucks this morning. I almost said like Stargate. It would have been like Target and Starbucks, which exists. You know, they have Starbucks in Target, but this is from Starbucks, not Stargate. Cheers if you're having your coffee here as well. I did get the iced brown sugar shaken espresso drink, a venti, because, you know, caffeine. I was thinking about stopping coffee for a little while, but that's on pause for a moment. And then I do have a breakfast sandwich here, so I probably won't sit here and talk for forever because that is going to be getting cold. But I was thinking this morning as I was driving in, you know, did I want to film a video and did I want to talk about something? And I knew I did on my way out of Starbucks. I was sitting in my car and I was about to turn my car on and drive away, and I saw this woman about to walk into the Starbucks, and I could tell that she was probably going to work, or I'm projecting that she was probably going to work because she was wearing an outfit that I looked at her and I thought, that's something I used to wear to my jobs, or that's something I would have worn to my job. And there's nothing wrong with her outfit. It was very much a casual workplace type outfit. She was wearing, at first I thought they were black leggings, but then I saw they were more like a black dress pant legging style. And she was wearing a shirt, I can't remember what the shirt looked like, and then a cardigan over it, and then a pair of flats. And it was just such an office outfit, and no shade to her, right? She looked awesome. But it was just such an office outfit, or to me, it felt like such an office outfit of what I would have worn. And my initial thought, my knee jerk, and don't freak out, was, oh, thank goodness that's not me. Which doesn't sound the nicest. And then I kind of thought about it for a second, and I was like, is that what I meant? Like, thank goodness that's not me. And as I drove away, I thought, no, you know what it is? It's not thank goodness that's not me. I'm grateful that's not me, because that used to be me. That used to be me going to pick up my coffee. That was literally my routine. I used to work, my office was about an hour to hour and a half drive from where I lived, or from my home. And one of the first things I would do, I would go work out at a gym across from my office, and then I would go and get a coffee from Starbucks. I literally did that same routine she was doing. And then I would go drive over to my office, which was very close to the Starbucks. So I very much related to what I was seeing or what I was projecting onto this person. And I thought, yeah, it's not thank goodness that's not me. I'm grateful that's not me. And why I'm grateful it's not me is that I've been able, I was able to, almost 6 years ago now, to build a career, adventure, whatever we want to call it at this point, for myself that allowed me we could call it a path, build a path for myself that took me out of that environment. And, I know that there might be some people watching this video that is their reality right now. And maybe you want out of that situation, and maybe you don't, and maybe you like the job that you have and you like reselling on the side for side income, and that's great. It's literally, I'm just talking about my own path here, but it wasn't what I wanted, but it was what I thought I wanted for a while. I pursued a certain path, and I thought that I wanted to do a certain career for a certain period of time. And ultimately, I realized it wasn't what I wanted to do, right? After a number of years, I realized I'm not feeling happy. I'm not feeling fulfilled. I started to reach a point where I thought, this isn't what I want to do anymore. And, I know I've talked before on this channel about, then I discovered reselling as a full-time thing because I had always resold in the past, and you can go probably check out other videos that I have where I speak on that. But, wanting to do reselling as a full-time job and actually creating it out for yourself, creating this journey for yourself, are two different things. And so then twofold, as I'm driving away and I'm thinking that, I've also been listening to my radio as I was driving the short distance from Starbucks to my warehouse here. And the topic that they were speaking on was manifesting. And I am a big manifest person. I know that not everybody's into that, but I am. And I think manifesting is kind of twofold, right? You can't just I think that manifesting, yes, you can wish something into existence, but I also think 50% of it is the actions that you take towards putting that thing into existence. So for me, right, it was wanting to leave my job, and I couldn't just sit there and wish to myself, I want to leave, I want to be a full-time reseller, please let it happen, right? I also had to take the steps and put the actions into place, which I 110% did, right? Once I knew that I wanted to do this, and they were talking about this in the show, just about how this woman was calling in and saying that she manifested a husband for herself. But, whether you believe that she did or didn't, she said she got really specific and wrote down a list of attributes of what she was looking for in a partner. And while I didn't do that, I did know a path that I wanted to take to be where I am now. Especially in the beginning, right? I knew I wanted to leave. And so for me, it was okay, start reselling, because I wasn't really actively doing it in a larger scale. And I started doing that when I was at my work still, with obviously my off hours and everything. But I started putting the actions into place to grow a little bit of a business. So I put those actions into place and put in my notice and did all those things. I did give 2 months notice at my job because I'm nice. Don't give 2 months notice at a job. As a former HR generalist, you give 2 weeks for a reason. But I gave 2 weeks because I'm just too nice. And so during that time, right, I was spending my weekends and evenings building my business so that once I actually was full-time, I kind of had a little bit of framework. And I'm not going to lie to you, that framework was incredibly shaky by my first, month of leaving my job and then becoming a full-time reseller, because I do think that there is anybody who's left a full-time career to then resell full-time, especially if you're coming from an environment where you maybe had a lot of pressure at work, where you've been in a rigid work environment, whatever it might be, there's a detox period that I don't think a lot of people talk about, but is very, very, very real. So if you've been in that scenario, I would love to hear your 2 cents on it so we can kind of commiserate and feel less alone together. But there is this detox period that, I won't lie to you, it's not like it takes a month. It's not 2 months. It's not 3, 6, or 8. It can take up to a year, I would say. It's kind of like when you break up with somebody, they say half the amount of time that you were with the person is how much time it'll take to recover. So, right, if you were with somebody for 6 months, it's going to take you 3 months to recover from the breakup. I would say it's the same with a job, maybe a little bit less time, because I was at my job for, I don't even know, I think it was 8 years. But it certainly took me, I would say, a year to really break out of whatever I was going through after leaving there. But anyways, I had this very shaky framework that I at least had by the time I went full time. But even on that day one of being full time, or, in that first year of being full time, I still had kind of this manifestation of where I wanted to be in the future. And when I tell you, it was sitting in this car. Maybe not talking to you. I don't think I was going to do YouTube. That part threw me for a loop. I never thought I would be talking to my cell phone that's propped up currently on a fruit platter and talking to new friends on the internet. Yeah, that one threw me for a loop. But I'm so happy it happened because I truly enjoy this community. But did I want to be in the warehouse that I'm in now? Yeah. Like, I was like Babe Ruth, right? I pointed to the sky and I hit a home run. And it's not all, I don't want to tell you it's all roses and I don't know what else. Roses and honey and something else, right? Like, there are challenges I experience all the time. But I have created the business I wanted. And going back to thinking about that person I saw walking into Starbucks this morning, and thinking, I'm grateful that isn't me. And again, not anything against this person, but it was the idea of, I was looking at myself, right? I saw myself walking in. Like, when I looked at that girl in that outfit that I would have worn, I saw myself walking in. And I thought, yeah, I'm grateful that's not me, and I'm grateful for what I've built here. And so, yeah, I guess this is maybe a gratitude video, a suggestion to anyone out there who's not into manifestation. Think about doing it. I think we all do it in our own ways. You don't have to call it manifestation. I think sometimes people don't think that they manifest things, but they think about other things in a positive aspect, and it's kind of the same thing, right? It's having that positive feeling, or when people have that saying like, fake it till you make it, right? Even when you don't believe something to be true, believe in it anyways, because you can trick your brain into believing whatever you want, really, right? We do it often with ourselves. we very much lie to our brains often to get ourselves to do the things that we don't want to do. On that note, they were referencing the book The Secret, which I have read before. I've actually read it probably a couple times. I some books, I don't want to say self-help, but I guess it's like a self-help book. Excuse me. I'll like to revisit like once a year just to kind of refresh myself. And I do like to pop in on The Secret every once in a while. I have it on Audible, the audiobook, whatever. I have it on Audible. It's not the best Audible book, I'm not gonna lie to you, because they like play music in it and stuff, and I'm really just looking to hear talking, but it is worth a listen. I still will say it's still worth a listen, just to hear kind of the principles, to hear other people's stories. So if you're looking for a suggestion on that, that's a really great one. I always recommend the author Jen Sincero. Her last name is spelled Sincero. I know I've talked about her recently, and if this person is watching, we had a conversation on Instagram and in the YouTube comments here. Somebody was saying that they really liked her first book, which is, oh my gosh, I can't remember. There's a green book and a yellow book. One is not about money and one is about money. I personally recommend the money book over the non-money book of hers. So go check it out. I'll put it in the description. I can't believe I can't remember what it's called right now. It was a life-changing book for me. And if you've ever had roadblocks about your ability to have financial success, this book can do a lot for you. I mean that truly. I actually had one of my really good friends, sorry, I'm like sidebarring here, but this is worth noting. I recommended this book to one of my good friends. She was actually my college roommate. I actually interviewed her on my podcast. She's one of the episodes that is not reselling related. But anyways, she read the book, loved it. She was like, wow, that was a game changer. She then had her partner read the book as well. He felt like it was life-changing for him as well. He took the principles from the book, went to his boss, and asked for a raise and got a massive, when I tell you massive raise, I'm talking like you could buy a Tesla with the amount of money raise that he got. So sometime, now you could argue that, oh, well, was he being underpaid? He actually had a very high paying job. He was able to then ask for more, and you could say, oh, well, maybe he didn't, he hadn't gotten a raise in a while. That's fine. But if you don't get what you don't ask for, right, at the end of the day. So maybe he was due to ask for it. But anyways, so if you are having any financial roadblocks, sorry, sidebar here, but it's just an amazing book, and I will put it down in the description because I know some people might be curious to listen to it. Highly recommend listening to it on Audible. Jen does read the book, and I always appreciate a book when we hear the author actually reading it. So there you go. But anyways, I guess I just want to come on here and say, yeah, I had this moment of self-reflection where I saw myself walking into Starbucks just like I always used to do, and thought, gosh, I'm so grateful for where I am today and what I've been able to do. And yeah, I guess maybe it invigorates me a little bit for the day, because I kind of need it right now. Been struggling a little bit recently, if I'm being completely transparent. But sorry, it looked like somebody was walking into my office. It invigorates me a little bit to think, you know what, let's keep thinking, not necessarily bigger, but let's keep thinking forward on our journey, Denali. What's next? Let's think about the future. We often think too much in the present, and whether we're focusing on something good or bad. But let's think about the future. Where do we want to be a year from now and 2 years from now? And maybe I'll check back in with you guys and tell you if I've thought about that more. I don't know. They say to keep your plans and your future to yourself. So maybe I'll keep some of those close to the vest, but I'll let you know how it worked out for me. I hope you're doing well. I haven't posted a car chat in a little bit. I've posted a couple on my second channel. So if you haven't checked out my second channel, check it out if you're interested, if you just like me as a person. I actually got my second channel isn't monetized yet, and so I'm just working to create content so that I can be, because as much as fun as it is to create content, it's nice to make a little bit of money from it. But I did just get my first brand collaboration on that second channel for this really cool company. It's called Rest Duvet, and they make bedding sheets and bedding and stuff like that, and I'm a hot sleeper, so it was the perfect brand collaboration. I loved trying their products. So anyways, if you have a moment and you can go check out that video and support it, supporting it is just watching it, giving a thumbs up, leaving an interaction. That would mean a lot to me. So I will leave the link down in the description below. But otherwise, I hope you have a great day. I hope I said something today that made you think, whether it was, hopefully not a bad thought, but hopefully a good thought. And yeah, I gotta go into work, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.